Third Grade Angels by Jerry Spinelli. Chapter 2. The Prize. It was a circle of yellow cardboard. "Halo!" voices called. "Halo it is," said Mrs. Sims. "Wonder if it fits." She put it on her head. She smiled and blinked her eyes like an angel, I guess. We laughed. "So," she said, "who would like to win a halo?" Every hand went up but one. Mrs. Sims looked surprised. "Not you, Joseph?" Joseph shrugged. He dragged his hand into the air. "Sure, why not?" She nodded. "Indeed, why not? So here's the deal. Beginning in October, one angel per week will get to wear a puppy just like this." By puppy she meant halo, which she waved at us. "When your boss angel week is over," she grinned at Joseph, "you may take your halo home. You may sleep with it for all I care." We laughed again. "So, you ask, how do I get my halo, Mrs. Teacher?" She pointed at us. "Ha, good question. Becoming an angel? Whew, that was easy. All you had to do was make it to third grade. But this," she jabbed the halo at us, "this you have to work for. This you have to earn." Billy Umberger's hand was waving. "How do we earn it, Mrs. Sims?" She blew Billy Umberger a kiss. "I love a kid who asks good questions." We laughed. We were spending a lot of time laughing. "Let me throw the question back to you guys." She called us guys. Cool. "What do you think you have to do to win your halo?" Hands went up. She called on Judy Billings. Judy had a butterfly thing holding her hair back from her right ear. I had liked Judy Billings ever since first grade, but I never before had such a good look at the back of her ear. Talk about perfect. Any angel would be proud to have that ear. "Be good," Judy said, like she was daring anybody to disagree. "Okay," said Mrs. Sims. She repeated it as she wrote it on the board. "Be good." She turned back to us. "What else, Ronald?" "Help people," said Ronald Chew. Mrs. Sims wrote on the board. "Helpful." She looked us over. Jendai Owens said, "Be nice." "Nice," wrote Mrs. Sims. And so it went. "Friendly." "Obedient." Mrs. Sims wrote, "Behave." Joseph put his hand over his mouth and whispered real low, "Boo." He looked at me and grinned. "Do your homework." "Eat your vegetables." That was Bernard Weber. Lots of laughing and groaning, but Mrs. Sims wrote it. "Wash your ears." "Neat coveys." That was me. "Spelling." "Give the teacher an apple." That was Joseph. Laughing and clapping. Mrs. Sims wrote, "Love your teacher." Big cheers. Even a whistle. By the time the last hand was called on, the board was almost full. Mrs. Sims took a deep breath. "Well, there you go. Look how many ways there are to earn your halo. Get the picture, angels?" "Yes!" we shouted. She snapped her fingers and pointed to us. "All right then, I've done my job. The rest is up to you." She looked at the calendar on the wall. 25 days till October. I wonder which angel will be first to get a halo. We all wondered with her. "Mrs. Sims!" It was Billy Umberger, itching for another kiss, I figured. "Yes, Billy?" "Does everybody get a halo?" Mrs. Sims blinked, like the question surprised her. "I hope so. I expect every one of you to prove to me you're worthy of being an angel. I've been doing this for 12 years now, and so far every one of my students has earned his or her halo." Somebody blurted, "Even Gerald Willis?" I heard gasps. 23 heads jerked in my direction because the somebody who blurted was me. Joseph reached across and punched my arm. "You da dude." I couldn't believe myself. All of a sudden, it was like there was no door between my brain and my mouth. As for Gerald Willis, he was a 5th grader, a troublemaker and a bully. The class was laughing, but Mrs. Sims wasn't even smiling. She stared at me. I said, "Everybody." I wanted to jump to my feet and call out, "I'm sorry, Mrs. Sims. I don't know what's getting into me. I'm not usually a big mouth." The bell rang for recess. I was first out the door.